Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.
Welcome to Kalamazoo Lively Arts, the show that takes you inside Kalamazoo's vibrant creative community and explores the people who breathe life into the arts. Join us as we meet Linda Kekic, a woman who has mastered several techniques of jewelry making. Then we visit the Park Trade Center to see how Elaine Kaufman turned ideas into apparel. But first, we stop by 1977 Mopeds, where Dan Kastner designs and refurbishes mopeds in the heart of Kalamazoo.
Here we are inside this reality factory.
Yeah,
Take me through a tour verbally. What's this all about, Dan?
So it's like a shared workspace. We've got a ceramic studio in the basement. We're working on getting the coffee shop, retail store on the first floor. 1977 Mopeds offices, and then Read and Write Kalamazoo is a literacy nonprofit upstairs.
And then there's the moped.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, so I guess almost 20 years ago, me and my best buddy got into mopeds and we started a moped gang called the Moped Army, and then that grew out of Kalamazoo to all over the nation, and there were no parts available for mopeds, so then I started a shop called 1977 Mopeds, and you know, that's been growing from there, yeah.
What is a moped?
It's a motorized pedal bike, so it's kind of like a weird throwback. Like originally all motorcycles had pedals that you'd start it with, and then you know you can assist the small motors up hills and through mud and stuff. And mopeds continued that branch while motorcycles became motorcycles. And yeah, it's kind of like just a hybrid of a person and a machine, kind of like a bicycle.
Let's dig a little deeper. You're actually designing these mopeds and more.
Yeah, I would probably describe what I do as more like an art director. I pick the design elements that I like and the bike elements that I like, and then I work with an awesome team. I've got a really brilliant engineer named Shane Rickert, who takes my ideas and puts them, you know, in the digital sphere, and then does the actual engineering on it. And then an awesome crew of mechanics that actually, you know, can take his engineering, my designs, and then put it into, you know, physical objects.
How are you designing a moped? Are you sitting at the computer and designing a bicycle, only more mopedy?
Just, I'm always gathering content. I'm looking at motorcycles and bicycles and electric vehicles and bike builds, and taking what I like, and you know, sometimes I mock it up in Photoshop, and I'll, you know, take a frame and lay out the wheels I want and the colors, and then also it's a lot of, like, you know, when you're out in the shop, you know, trying different gas tanks, different fenders, different wheels, and, you know, just a lot of, like, you know, trial and error too.
Vroom, vroom. Let's ride a moped. But first of all, what are we riding? What are we doing?
So I'm going to be riding this 75 Batavus HS50, and then you're going to be riding this 66 Motorbicane Caddy.
1966?
Yeah.
Wow. What's the art to a good ride?
Well, just being aware of what's around you, and yeah, just have fun.
And look at the different designs, Dan.
Yeah, so you have what's called a top tank moped, which you'll see the gas tank is up on the top tank.
Yes.
Kind of like a motorcycle, like a small motorcycle.
Okay.
And then over here, this is called a step-through model, and it's just, you know, a little easier to throw your leg over and get on, kind of like a bicycle.
This is kind of like a girl's bicycle.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But it's not just for girls.
But we have some, I mean, this is 1960.
This is a 1966 Caddy. This is made in France. And this is 1977 Batavus, and this is made in Holland.
Yes.
But all imported over here for the American market.
Run by gas, and I understand the spark plug makes a big difference, right?
Yeah. So you got to mix the gas and the oil before you put it in. And then a good clean spark plug makes it so that you don't break down.
Great. So where do we start on revving these up?
Yeah, so what you do is These are your brakes, just like a bicycle.
Okay.
You got your bell.
Oh!
And then to start it, this is your starter lever.
Okay.
You pull that in, and then you just give it one quick kick.
Start her up.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then this is your throttle.
Okay.
So as you're starting it, you're giving it a little bit of throttle, which opens up your carburetor.
Okay. Start her up.
And then you just give it, feather the throttle a little bit. Yeah. So, yeah, just remember, hit both brakes at the same time. And then you're going to go out and around to the street and back.
Okay. You ready?
Good luck. Yeah.
Am I ready? Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, so roll it forward. Just push forward. Yep, and then put it up.
There we go. There she is. All right, ready?
All right, yeah, so just go
Ready?
around the sidewalk and out.
Watch out, Valerie! Run, 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 run. We want to go on the road here, so here we go. I'm going to go down here. Okay. Just rev it up, rev it up, rev it up, and then we're going to come back and turn around this way. Mopeds here to stay, you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's new ones popping up. You know, we're helping to drive that, I think.
Are you ready to talk about the company?
Yes. Well, we're here today supporting the Black Arts and Cultural Center's Black Arts Festival for 2016. Faceoff is also the resident theater company for the Black Arts and Cultural Center of Kalamazoo. And we just closed a successful run of the Colored Museum as part of the sort of artist showcase night of the Black Arts Fest.
So what do we see you perform? How are you unique with your art?
Well, I think we do a really great job of mixing sort of what's needed culturally and communally with the history and the vanguard of Black theater and theater in general in Southwest Michigan.
And how does it work? Are you performing on stage? Are you performing to small groups?
We perform everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. But we do workshops. We do sort of teaching within the community, and we also do 4 productions a year. One of them is specifically youth-based. This year we did Home on the Morning Train. That was directed by another one of our company members, Bianca Washington. But it happens wherever it needs to happen. We go to the mix, we do monologues, we are anywhere you need us to be, sharing the art with the community. So,
Isn't there a commonality between you all? How are you all alike?
Besides being awesome, I'm just joking. We're all Western Michigan University alumni. We all have fine arts degrees within the collective of the 9/10 of us. We have like 19 degrees. So that's something that we have in common, and a real love for the artist community of Kalamazoo in particular, because it fostered all of us as artists.
And you all like each other and you have fun even when the lights aren't on, right?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Well, we are friends. We are friends, but we're also business women. And there's a lot of hard conversations I think we have to have as business women. But at the end of the day, there's a sisterhood. And so that's what carries us through those hard conversations that we have to have sometimes.
Thank you, ladies. The company, rock stars.
Thank you.
From stones to metals and more, Linda Kekic does it all. See how she makes jewelry and creates community.
All right, Linda, it's time to learn about you and your art. Take it away.
Okay, I teach glass art and in jewelry at the Kalamazoo Art Institute. I've been doing that for about 4 years. And I started out as a fused glass artist about 10 years ago. I was working for the state of Michigan as a social worker and administrator, and retired from my job and decided to look for classes at the Kalamazoo Art Institute, and thought I was going to take a photography class, and ended up taking a glass art class. and got hooked. And then I was making little pieces for jewelry and decided I wanted to figure out how to set them with bezel setting. And so I started working in metalworking. And then 4 years ago, I was asked to teach metalworking there. So I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Why fused art?
Fused glass, I think it's because it's fired in the kiln. You can create layers and give it a lot of depth. I think it's just really beautiful. I've also done some lamp working and some bead working, and I've also done some minimal glass blowing, which I'm very impressed with local glass blowers. But I always come back to the fused glass because that's what I like to do, and it's just such a beautiful art form. And there's so much you can do, from a little tiny pendant to a big sculpture and bowls.
All right, artist Linda, what are we in store for? What are you going to teach me?
We're going to make a holiday ornament, a Christmas tree, similar to this Christmas tree, and it's fused glass, and your piece is going to be fired in the kiln. It'll be in the kiln for 12 hours.
Oh.
So you'll be able to, I'll have to fire it, take a photo of it, send it to you.
Send it to me,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
But until then, where do we start?
What I want you to do first is just learn how to cut glass, which will just take a minute.
Okay.
When you cut glass, you press down hard and do one score like that.
Did you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you take the running pliers and snap it, and that's how quickly
Shoot, I can do
cut.
this. Left-handed.
Yeah.
Here we go. Find my special place
muscles.
here. Ooh, let's dig in. Okay.
And then-
oh, did I get it? And then I do this, and then squeeze it.
Squeeze it, and it cuts.
Oh,
so you learn
hey,
how
that
to
looks
cut,
like
cut
Indiana.
glass.
Go ahead. What's next? What makes your art really unique?
I do a lot with the glass to shape it and define it. I like detail work, so my pieces are very specific. I don't think anybody else makes the pyramids that I make in the same way. I've done a lot of traveling, and I'm always collecting stones and found objects and shells and beach glass, so quite often I will combine my glass with other stones. I've also picked up some 2,000-year-old Roman glass in Israel. I've combined it with the more recent fused glass, and I do a lot of the bezel setting of my pieces, and I do chasing, and I do soldering, and a lot of different methods to make the pieces look interesting. What you want to first do is choose one of the shapes.
I'm going to go with this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pull it closer to you.
Okay.
And you have some glue here.
Oh, that's glue.
And we're
Oh, it
just going to
is.
put a little bit of glue there.
Okay. On the top of my Christmas tree, right? Okay.
And then put some fiber paper right there.
Fiber paper. Right here is my fiber paper, and I'm putting it horizontally.
Right.
Why is that?
That's so that you can put a ribbon on the top of it and hang
So
it
that
on
it can hang.
your tree.
So it's
Yeah.
a functional tree.
Yes.
Next up.
Next up is to choose a top of,
Oh, like this one.
yep.
Yes.
And then just
Right.
put a little bit of glue on the back
Okay,
of it.
Lots
Whoops,
of
I'm
glue.
sorry.
All right, here we go. Take a little
put my
glue
glue
and
over
put
there.
it kind of all over it.
Just a tiny dot. We'd call it dot, dot, not a lot. Just a little bit of glue.
Oh, there's a language with your art.
Yeah.
And we put that on top
Right, yep.
of this.
Yep. And that way your piece, very
Nice. I'm proud of
good. Then
myself.
you need to choose a tree base.
Okay, how about this one?
Well, that's actually
Oh,
another
okay,
top.
here's
So
a
we'll-
tree base.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just the base of the tree.
Yes.
And then you can choose a present,
Okay, oh, a present.
which is one of these shiny pieces here.
How about this one? Talk more about the purpose of the kiln.
The kiln is, well, you use sheet glass, which I have over here, and you make the piece, and then you fire it in the kiln, and depending on the temperature and the program that you use to fire the piece, you get different impacts. So the tree that you made today, I'll fire that to 1350 degrees, and it will maintain the shape of the piece and the look of the piece. Now, a lot of the jewelry that I make, I'll fire it to 1500 degrees, and that will change the shape of the piece, taking a square piece, making it round. Glass wants to be 1/4 inch thick, so it will shrink up to that size. So when you use the kiln, you have to know what you're doing, what type of a program, how to program the kiln so that you can fire it.
Oh,
This is fun. This is dichroic glass stringer, and you're going to see there's a shiny side right there. You're going to break it
Okay.
and put a little bit
Just
of,
one?
well, I usually do 3
Okay.
for a tree.
So just break it here.
Uh-huh.
Got it.
Yep. And then just put the glue on.
More glue, dot my glue there.
Actually, if you dip
Do
it
more.
in, if you dip
Dip
that
this?
in, and then just put a little bit of glue on both ends.
Of this.
Yep.
Wow, this brings me back to my childhood days.
I know, isn't it
okay,
fun?
boom, and boom.
Yep. And then make sure
There's a lot of
the
glue there.
shiny side is out right there.
Will that glue be okay?
It'll be fine.
Okay, good.
And then you can do a couple more if you want to.
All right, so we're set. I've made a Christmas tree
Yes.
with the materials of
It's fused glass.
fused
kiln
glass.
Fused glass.
Wow. Ho, ho, ho. Thank you very much, Linda.
You're welcome.
Whether making a costume for a play, a dress for a wedding, or customizing jerseys, Elaine Kaufman takes clothing design to new levels. Let's see how her process works.
Elaine K Designs. You're Elaine K, and you're all about designing. Are you having fun?
Yes, I better be having fun because I do it a lot.
What do you do?
I am a clothing and costume designer.
Did you want to do this since the way back whens?
No, no, actually, if somebody would have told me way back when, I learned to sew when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I loved it. But it never occurred to me, nor did I have anybody tell me that it was something that I could do for a living, and it wasn't until I was about 26 years old that an opportunity came along, and I was going to Western at the time as a business major and took an elective class, a tailoring class, and everybody else in the class was making their first tailored skirt. I made a suit for my boyfriend, and the woman that taught the class said, "You might want to go and talk to the theater department because they're looking for a costume shop manager with strong sewing skills." And so I went over and talked to her, got along with her great, took that job, changed my major, and kind of my whole world changed at that point.
Elaine K, what are you going to teach me to do?
You're gonna make a pouch,
Okay.
a simple little pouch.
With the sewing machine in front of me.
Yep.
What do I do?
Okay, we're gonna take these 2 squares fabric,
Okay.
shiny side,
Pretty.
non-shiny side. We
Yeah.
want shiny sides together, right sides together.
Okay.
So you're gonna sew down one side.
Okay.
You're gonna pivot here, across the bottom, come up the other side.
Okay. Will there be a stopping in between?
Sort of.
We'll see. Okay, where do I put
Okay,
this? Right
so
here?
you're gonna put that underneath
Underneath the...
underneath
What is this called?
the foot.
The foot.
But you're
Okay.
gonna start all the way
Watch
at the
my
back.
finger, right?
Nah,
Okay.
it will protect your
Okay,
fingers.
good.
I
All right.
promise. So you're gonna be starting all the way at the beginning. So
Gotcha.
where the needle is, that's where you want the edge of
Oh,
your
I see.
fabric.
I see where
and
the
if you
needle
reach
is.
through,
Forgot
there
there's a
is
needle
a
involved.
lever here that
Oh.
puts the foot down, so it holds
Is the lever on this
fabric in
side?
place. No, so you're gonna reach
through here.
and pull the lever down to
Down.
put the foot down on top of the fabric.
Ready.
So it holds it stable.
Okay.
So you've got your pedal down
yes,
here.
that
You're
makes
gonna
it-
start moving. Push the pedal.
Oh.
And you want to keep the edge of your fabric following this line so you can do a nice straight stitch.
I'm sewing.
You're sewing
A pouch.
a pouch.
How far down
you're
do I
going,
go?
You're going to go down to the bottom a half. You're going to stop a ½ inch away from the bottom edge. Go a little bit more. Little bit more. One more push. Okay.
Okay.
Now
twist
the
it.
needle. Hang on.
Lift it up.
The needle is in the fabric, which is what we want. So now you want to lift the foot up. And with the needle in place, you're going to turn it. Foot goes back down.
I'm getting good at this now. Okay.
You're going to do the same thing. Go all the way to that edge, stopping a ½ inch from the edge.
Talk about the design part of you.
When I'm doing custom work for people, I am needing to create their vision. So that type of design is one avenue, making somebody else's idea come alive. The theater The costuming part is my idea most of the time. I'm constrained in some ways there because of whatever the time period might be, whatever the vision that the director might have. But in most of the places that I get to work with regards to theater, I really get kind of free rein to do whatever I want. We just did the Rocky Horror Show at Kalamazoo College, where I am the costume designer, and that was really fun for me. I get a lot more freedom in that realm. So that's why I kind of like doing both the theater and the custom design.
Yeah. So going down to my 1/2 inch,
Yep,
right?
stop right there.
Stop.
Needle
Lever?
is down, lever goes up,
Getting good
turn
at
it.
this. Okay, good. Moving on, same
Foot
thing.
goes down.
Foot down. Here we go.
This time you're going all the way to the end.
Off to the races. But making sure it's straight. Why is
Right.
that?
Well, if you don't have straight and consistent seam allowances, things don't fit.
Oh, yes. There's a reason for that. All the way down?
All the way down.
All the way. Let it go.
Yes. And now that you've gotten to the end, you don't want to sew, you don't want to continue sewing when there's not fabric underneath
Right.
the foot.
That can't be good for the needle.
Right.
Right.
And right here,
Oh.
you have a button right there,
Okay.
which
Push
is
it.
a back stitch. Push
Oh.
the pedal.
Push the button.
Well, actually, let's lift up and push it forward. There we go. Okay, so push the pedal and push the button at the same time. And it goes backwards.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay?
Done. Lift the...
Lift the foot. Now we need to get the needle over
There's
here.
the twist.
Yep,
I
that.
remember that's
Yep.
from age 10.
And now you can pull that out.
And let's look at our finished piece. You cut the...
Cut that and turn it right side out.
For my pouch, right?
Yep. Simple pouch.
Oh my gosh. How much do you charge for the pouch?
Nothing.
Talk about the process of how you design.
I'm not much into the sketching part of designing. I speak to a lot of young people that have this entire notion that fashion design is a drawing. As far as I'm concerned, those are a dime a dozen. You can come up with a million drawings, but if you don't have any idea how to execute it, it's just a drawing. I've got a 3D image in my mind, and I already, after I've even thought of it, I already sort of know how I'm going to make it, how I'm going to make that work. And I just jump right into that part. It's the actual doing and the process of, okay, how am I going to make that sleeve look like that? And knowing how it goes together and how am I going to do that neckline and how's that collar going to fit into there? And I just work all of that out in my head pretty immediately after I've come up with the idea.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Kalamazoo Lively Arts. Join us next week for new artists and more opportunities to get hands-on. We leave you tonight with a music hop performance from the Copacetiks at Harvey's on the Mall. I'm John Koch. Have a great evening.
So alive, so
Support for Kalamazoo Lively Arts is provided by the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, helping to build and enrich the cultural life of Greater Kalamazoo.